Welcome back to another Film Geek movie review. Today I'm going to be hitting the road later on to check out the new movie Amsterdam. Amsterdam is based in the 1930s, and it's about a group of friends who get accused of a murder, and they have to prove their innocence. This film looks like it's going to be a very kind of stylized action comedy, and it has one massive cast. Such a big cast that I'm just going to read them off the old computer screen here, okay? So our three leads, we have Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, and John David Washington, and a supporting cast of just, it was crazy. Okay, we got Chris Rock, Michael Shannon, Mike Myers, Taylor Swift. Okay, that's just, and, Robert De Niro. Freaking Robert De Niro's in this movie. So that's got my curiosity. I've been kind of looking forward to this film, honestly. This movie looks like something I would really enjoy. I love a good little mystery. I love movies that are set in the 1930s. I like watching old movies from the 1930s. It's one of those time periods for some reason I have a large interest in. So I'm really excited to go check out this movie. So you know what, guys? Enough of me just sitting around here yammering on about this movie. It's time to hit the road, go to, well, work, and then I'm off to go see the new movie, Amsterdam. Welcome back. Just getting back from checking out the movie Amsterdam, and one of the things that I forgot to mention in the intro to this was the film is directed by David O. Russell, who also directed the movie American Hustle, which was also starring Christian Bale. So hey, there's a little something for you. Okay, so let's get into this movie. Alright guys, this movie is not that great. It's not nearly as good of a mystery as something like Vengeance that I saw earlier in the year. This movie is just kind of bland. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off with the negatives, and then we're going to finish this on a high note with a few positives. Alright, first off, in the negative category, this movie is painfully long. Now, what I mean by painfully long is that it feels exactly how long it is. The movie clocks in over 2 hours. I want to say it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And you feel every second of that. Now, this is what I'm trying to get at. I don't mind a long movie. I seriously do not mind a long movie whatsoever. Some of my favorite films are very long. Lawrence of Arabia, Gone with the Wind, Little Big Man, Dances with Wolves. These movies are over 3 hours long. Okay, maybe, I can't remember, Dances with Wolves might be right around the 3 hour mark. But anyways, these are pretty long movies. And the thing that I like about these movies, they hold my attention till the very end, and I don't feel like I've been sitting there for 3 hours holding, you know, so I don't have to stop things to go to the bathroom. It doesn't feel like that. It feels like a nice time has just passed, and then you're like, oh wow, the entire afternoon is gone. Who knew? This movie doesn't flow like that. Oh no, it is painfully boring in some parts where you're just begging for it to end. It just keeps going. There's a lot of shots that linger way too long. There's parts of this movie that don't need to exist whatsoever. There is an entire subplot with Mike Myers and Michael Shannon that doesn't even need to exist. It's just there for reasons, I suppose, for a joke maybe, because there's a small joke from the whole thing, but they spend time on this whole thing and it doesn't even need to be there. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And one of the other things this film does, it's as a cardinal sin in your murder mystery or conspiracy thriller type things, is they play their hand way too soon. You as a viewer figure things out way too fast because they pretty much show you exactly what's going on. And that's kind of how the movie goes. It just kind of shows you everything that's going on step by step by step by step. And then at the end of the movie, they go, aha! Guess what we did? And then they explain everything to you all over again. They literally go back with flashbacks and tell you the entire story of the film again at the end of the movie. I don't know why you would do that. I really don't. This is not some kind of complicated, symbolism ridden art house film. It's a fairly straightforward kind of movie, and I don't see why it needed to explain to the audience everything they just saw, and it felt a little on the insulting side, to be perfectly honest. Okay, so, got that out of the way, got the old negatives out of the way, so now let's move on to the positives. What did I like about this movie? Okay, so our lead actors, Christian Bale, Margot Robbie, and John David Washington, are great. They are great together. The chemistry between the three of them is outstanding, and you really get a sense that these three people are very close friends who have seen a lot of shit together. It comes off great. And also, too, Christian Bale's performance in this film is outstanding. He really does shine above everybody. Now, don't get me wrong, everyone in this film, Taylor Swift included, does a great job. Oh wait, you know what? There's a negative I forgot to bring up. It's not necessarily Taylor Swift, but it's just like, she really didn't need to be in this movie. I don't know what the point of Taylor Swift being in this film was. She had a very small part, small but important, but it was just like, okay, why hire Taylor Swift for this? It just seemed like a very strange use of the budget of this film. Okay, back to the positives. But she did do a good job. I'm not saying she did a bad job. Just seemed weird, man. Okay, so positives. Acting, outstanding. Christian Bale, really good. He carries a lot of the comedy in this film. He has some great liners. He's very wisecracky, and I like it. He's great in this movie. He's one of the shining moments of this film, and I really enjoyed him. And honestly, he made the movie way more enjoyable for me. Now, despite the fact the subplot was completely not needed, Mike Myers and Michael Shannon were great in this movie. They were also really fun just to see those two together. And I feel like they need an offshoot of this film. They need their own movie. We need to learn more about that subplot that doesn't matter. All right, so here we are, guys. Here's the end. So, positives. Oh, and one last positive, because again, I like to do the positives. The way this film is shot is really unique, and I liked it. They did this cool thing, and I didn't think I liked it at first, but as the film went on, I really enjoyed it, where they would take a handheld cam, and they would just kind of like walk around somebody while they were talking and just kind of do like a 180 kind of shot on them or something like that. Or, the camera would start talking at their face, and then it would kind of move around to like the back of their head, so then it would show the other person, and they would start talking. It was a really kind of cool thing. And I'm like, all right, I like what you're doing here. I like where you're going with this. This is neat. This is cool. So the style of the film was neat. It looks gorgeous. The setting is outstanding. It looks very authentic. It looks very of its time. So the movie itself is very pretty. Now, here we go. Should you go see it in the theaters? It depends. If you're a real big Christian Bale fan and you want to see him do a very kind of fun role for him, you can tell he's just having a great time doing, then I highly suggest seeing this film in theaters. However, if you just catch it on a streaming service or what have you, that's also cool. Check it out when it comes on DVD, Blu-ray, whatever. That's probably cool too. So anyways, guys, what is the grade of this movie? How do I feel? I would say that this film is a solid C. just a solid C, a good old average. It doesn't fail, it doesn't go above that. It just kind of stays right there in the middle. Like if you have 2 hours to kill, this is a fine film to put on if you have, well, I should say more than 2 hours to kill. This is like one of those movies that when you're folding laundry, you can turn on and you can have it going and you can fold the laundry, you know, and then you're like, oh yeah, hey, Chris Rock, hey, check it out, Chris Rock, oh, Taylor Swift, hey. And that's this movie. That's this movie. It's a C. All right, guys, thanks again for checking out the Film Geek. If you liked what you saw here today, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell for notifications, and give me the old thumbs up so I know you like what you're seeing. And if there's another thing you can do, folks, that is keep watching movies. You know I'm gonna.